Hi, what's up everyone? It's Invest Diva and your coach Kiana Danial. Welcome to Diva on the Block, where we take you to the back streets of this whole blockchain, Bitcoin, and crypto shenanigans to help you get a better understanding of what really is going on and how you can take advantage of it. Today, I'm super excited to have Erik Finman, one of the youngest Bitcoin millionaires and Time Magazine's 25 most influential teens of 2014. In this episode of Diva on the Block, we'll discuss how Erik started investing in Bitcoin back in 2011 when he was only 12 years old, how he continued to accumulate over 400 Bitcoins, and how you can start investing in Bitcoin using tiny bits of your everyday shopping leftovers. We also talk about the unique life experiences of being the youngest child in the family and how Erik is campaigning in DC to fully legalize Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I had a ton of fun interviewing Erik and I hope you love it. Let's rock the block. Today, I'm super pumped to have Erik Finman, one of the youngest Bitcoin millionaires and Time Magazine's 25 most influential teens of 2014. Welcome, Erik.
Hi, thank you very much. What an introduction. Very high energy.
Well, I try. So, Erik, your background is fascinating. You're 20 years old.
I'm an old man, yeah.
Yeah, you were born, wait, hold on, 1999? Are you kidding me?
1998.
1998, all right. So, you were born when Backstreet Boys were a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. So you think of me as an old woman thinking to Backstreet.
Not that old. Very beautiful.
All right. So I think it must be, I don't know how you feel about it because you haven't had any other experience other than being one of the youngest Bitcoin millionaires. First of all, how does it feel?
It doesn't feel too bad. I mean, I guess, people go, oh, more money, more problems. No, more money, less problems.
Good. I like that. So, I actually this morning I was tweeting, people are treating crypto right now as they were treating money 20 years ago when you were born. So they were it was taboo. Nobody could talk about it because it's just, you don't go there. Now they're treating crypto that way. So I'm interested to see in 20 years what's going to happen. But so you started investing in Bitcoin back in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
You were only 12 then. Mm-hmm. And at that exact year, by the way, one of my friends also told me to buy Bitcoin, and I said, no, it's too much of a risk. Mm-hmm. So, of course, I'm kicking myself for that. But as a teenager, how are you able to pull the trigger? And most importantly, where did you get the money?
Yeah, so it was my brother. He was a lot older than me, and we both kind of found out about Bitcoin together at the same event. It was this kind of big protest in DC, and I think in the middle of when we were getting tear gassed or something, some guy had a Bitcoin shirt. And then me and my brother, we asked, what's that? And, he kind of said, oh, it's going to end Wall Street, bro. And then he ran off. But, we were curious about it. And then, so my brother, a lot older than me, he kind of helped me get into it. And my grandmother actually gave me $1,000 for my scholarship fund at that point. So I don't know, we took that. It did not go into my scholarship fund. We took that and put that into Bitcoin. And then, kind of the rest is history.
So it wasn't like you went in and you studied it and you just literally randomly came up.
I mean, we researched it after the guy kind of talked about. We spent more time kind of researching it, checking it out, and we figured it was going to change the world.
Okay, so it wasn't just pure luck. You actually did put some thought into it before putting your scholarship, because $1,000 for a 12-year-old isn't a lot of money. It's not.
That's a lot for a 12-year-old, yeah. But and then I spent every day, working on getting more and more and more and getting more and more and more, because that would have bought, maybe Bitcoin was about $10 at the time. That would have bought maybe just 100 Bitcoins. I spent every day kind of trying to game the system, trying to game the trading system so I could trade more, do better, and all that stuff. And I started the company when I was 15, and I eventually sold that company for Bitcoin and all that stuff. So I got more Bitcoin from that, more Bitcoin from just the initial buy, and then tons of Bitcoin from just playing the markets every day, trying to be the best day trader at crypto you could possibly be.
Right. So you were offered to get actually either $100,000 or 300 Bitcoins, and you chose 300 Bitcoins.
Yeah, that's correct.
In other words, in 2016, one of my clients offered to pay me in Bitcoin, and I said, nope, US dollar. And of course, again, I've made so many mistakes, my friend. I know that you're a Bitcoin fan, and you said that you day traded Bitcoin. Which exchange did you use for trading Bitcoin at the time?
I mean, back in the day, it was Mt. Gox was the exchange to trade on back in the day.
But did you become a victim when it was hacked?
No. I got off that pretty quick. I didn't really I just maybe executed some trades and immediately put that on kind of my own self-hosted wallet, if you will.
And at the times there were no Nano Ledger or Cold Wallet, right?
Yeah. You just had like the Bitcoin app on your computer or something like that. There was kind of the main Bitcoin wallet app that you could use on your computer. And then I think Coinbase came out around a little bit later after that, like just started. And then I did some trades on that early on, and then I kind of off-ramped it into kind of what I do now. But back in the day, it was kind of trade on Mt. Gox, and there's kind of one Bitcoin app, one Bitcoin wallet to use at the time. And so I just used that.
Were you scared at all of, I know you had some success and you dropped out of school to do this full time, right?
Yeah. So my school was a pretty bad high school and all that stuff. And then so I said, this really isn't worth my time. These people aren't worth my time. These, teachers aren't worth my time and all that stuff. So I'm just going to drop out and move to San Francisco because this is a total waste of my time. There's actually one other kid in Bitcoin at the time. I was a freshman in high school. He was a senior. He ran his own Bitcoin mining company. And I think he made like $80 million off being Bitcoin. So I think he left too pretty soon after me. Like it was just such a, no offense to that high school, I guess, but also with offense. It was just like a low level high school with a lot of low level people. And it was a very hick town,
So wait, so that kind of means that you were not kind of born rich. You were not at a private high school with all the luxuries then.
No, well, it's complicated. So I like to say my family are the Elon Musk version of the Kardashians. So yeah, my parents are rich. My brothers are richer and all that stuff. I think my oldest brother got into Bitcoin. He's just chilling on a beach somewhere. I think he sold all his Bitcoin and just runs a business off his laptop, travels the world. My middle brother, he got into Y Combinator, which is a big startup kind of incubator. And then he sold his company to Niantic for like tens of millions of dollars or something like that. Those are the people that do Pokemon Go. So he sold it to Pokemon Go for tens of millions of dollars. And then I did well. And then, my parents, they started off, they're both Stanford PhDs. They met getting their Stanford PhDs together. They're very sweet. My mother has her own kind of telescope that's in the Smithsonian and all that stuff. And then, they eventually co-founded a business together, which prevented people from remotely blowing up mines under U.S. Humvees. So kind of saving lives in that way. I actually had a lot of veterans. They come and thank my parents. They're like, oh, someone tried to blow up a mine under our Humvee, and thanks to you, we were able to live. So I think I'm not going to hide that my parents aren't rich. I'm going to say they're actually super rich, and my brothers are richer and all that stuff. So we're the Elon Musk version of the Kardashians. We're all very smart family.
And you're now being followed around by BBC for documentary and reality TV shows. So you're definitely living up to what you're claiming.
Exactly. Not too bad. I got to beat out my brothers. It's the scoreboard, right?
Yeah, the youngest ones have it. I'm the youngest one. You're the youngest, right?
I'm the youngest.
Yeah, me too. We're by a lot. So I always have to prove something. No matter like how many books I write or how successful I get, still I'm like the baby of the family that nobody takes seriously. So
I relate. I don't know.
I relate to that 100%.
I don't know why that's the case though. I don't know why, but for some reason,
you're the baby. They remember you. They remember you in a little, in the diapers and everything. That's the problem.
That's true.
So let's get a little bit more like into Bitcoin. And so when I was writing my book, I wanted to compare each and every altcoin and the top coins out there. And I was shocked by Bitcoin's shortcomings. I actually preferred at the time, I wrote it in 2017, actually no, in the 2018, I preferred a number of other coins to Bitcoin in the crypto realm. So in your opinion, and now you're basically your full life, you're living and breathing Bitcoin, but what are some of the biggest Bitcoin deficiencies in your opinion?
I mean, I think there's four big problems with Bitcoin. I think one, it takes too long to send anything. Like it's very slow. Two, the transaction fees are really high. Three, the people that are trying to solve those problems are just, very cultish, tons of infighting. And then four, I'd say that it's been too hard to get into and all that stuff. So, I mean, I launched something recently to kind of fix that problem. And I think that's a huge problem to fix, plus the other three problems. But that's kind of the big. I don't know. Bitcoin, I still think it's not guaranteed that it's going to be successful forever. Could totally be MySpace, the MySpace of this world and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing my best to try to make it as easy and solve those problems with Bitcoin as much as possible.
I am going to get into what you just launched, Coinbits, in 1 minute. But before we get there, why? So we have other coins that are already halfway through in resolving some of the issues that Bitcoin has, like, the fees and the speed. Yeah. So why are we giving Bitcoin a chance and not completely already moving on to Facebook, basically, if you're comparing it to MySpace?
Yeah, I mean, I think just branding, I think literally just marketing, I think Bitcoin was the first and kind of has that reputation, as the face of the cryptocurrency space. So unless somebody is better at marketing another coin, I don't see Bitcoin going away for a while, so I think until like the technology really makes it like unusable for people, and it could totally get to that point. I think, although I'm very, very pro Bitcoin, very pro cryptocurrency, but yeah, I mean, there needs to be a big wave, kind of a big switch. And yeah, I mean, I think someone just needs to be better at marketing, because you're right, there are 10 times better there are 10 times better technologies than Bitcoin that already exist today.
Totally. So let's talk about Coinbits, this new project that you're working on. And one thing that you and I have in common, besides being the youngest child, is basically aiming to make crypto a reality by getting everyday people really learn about it and use it and invest in it. So Coinbits, if I'm understanding, goes around this by rounding up people's everyday purchases and putting the tiny bits of this money into Bitcoin investment. Correct?
Absolutely. Correct.
So I think this is brilliant. And I mean, even if you're not investing in Bitcoin, you should be investing in something like these tiny investments really make a huge difference in the long run. So how did you come up with this idea?
Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I think, I grew up in Idaho, right? That's where I went to school. And then there's a lot of people that have heard about Bitcoin, but don't know how to get into it, and have wanted to get into it, but don't know how. And I've seen that happen with so many other people, like how many billions of dollars of market cap has been wasted or not even existed of Bitcoin. How many billions of dollars has not been invested into Bitcoin purely just because people that had money to get into it didn't know how. So that was kind of the goal of Coinbits, was just to make it super simple, super easy to get into Bitcoin. You sign up, connect your payment information, and you're done. So you can just connect your card, and then every time you swipe, it rounds up just a little bit, and invests in Bitcoin for you. So it's a good way to it's called dollar cost averaging is what this technique is called. And Warren Buffett, says dollar cost averaging is one of the best ways to invest. So yeah, Coinbits is an excellent product. It looks beautiful. It works beautiful. And yeah, I mean, it's very practical. You can even set your risk level, 2x, 5x, 10x of how risky you want to get with it. So yeah, I mean, I really like Coinbits. Obviously, I'm biased, but I really wanted to solve a real big problem, was that it was too hard to get into.
So this is the right app, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you have here exchange. Can you tell me a little bit about the backend technology of this? It says exchange is Coinbase. So that means it's based on Coinbase exchange. You're investing the money directly into Coinbase?
Yeah, so Coinbase has this service where they'll hold your coins for you. So just in order to make sure that they're top secure, really secure. So we use Coinbase for them just on the back end to secure the coins and all that stuff. We have actually a lot of people that want us to use their service or other stuff. So Coinbase is just one of a million options that we can use just to actually store the coins.
So the coins are on an online wallet at the moment, basically.
Yes. Super secure though, super secure. And then yeah, the technology we use Synapse and all that stuff. So for things like anti-money laundering and making sure that that we verify that you're you when you use the service. That's Synapse. And then we use one of the best banks in the world, Evolve Bank. There's actually very few places where you can just store your cash that have to do with cryptocurrency or deal with cryptocurrency. Most banks do not. So Evolve Bank is one of the best banks in the world for that.
Yeah, we have it listed here. And so so how does it work? The moment I go, let's say, okay, you have here the picture of the fries. So it rounds up 25 cents. And does it invest it in Bitcoin immediately, or does it like have a strategy to buy lower, or how does it work exactly?
So let's say you spend $1.75 on French fries. Basically, if you use our service, it'll round up 25 cents. So that'll then charge you $2, but 25 cents of that will go to investing in Bitcoin. And once a week, we tally up all those transactions. Let's say you spend $1.75 on fries, or you might spend $4.75 on a hamburger. All those transactions, all those Uber Eats, all those Ubers and buying things, Amazon purchases, and places where you swipe your card. That all adds up every week. And one day every week, we take all those transactions and put those into Bitcoin for you once a week.
So once a week. So, what day of the week is it?
One day of the week, usually Monday. But the thing is it's a good problem to have. Is now we're doing it kind of. We have 2 days a week for 2 groups of users because we have so many users coming through. We're doing 500,000 in transactions every week flowing through the pipes.
So you can very easily, if you're doing it at a certain time every single week, then you can easily move the markets.
Exactly. So, I mean, when we launched Coinbits, we launched it on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange in a really huge way. And you saw as soon as we did that, the price of Bitcoin shot up. And then I did a Forbes interview, a really, really big, high profiles on the front page of Forbes.com interview. And, I said, it's my goal to resurrect Bitcoin back to 20,000, the price back to 20,000. And after that article, you saw immediately Bitcoin shoot up.
Yeah,
so
we actually had it here. It was it was June 10th. So yeah, you definitely have proven to have the ability to move Bitcoin. And that's a little bit scary for me. So actually, not scary, not that I'm scared of you, but in terms of, so for example, I'm an investor and I'm always constantly looking for a way to invest at lower prices. So if I know that you're always investing your money or your client's money on Monday at, let's say, I don't know, 3 p.m., whatever, that is the day that I'm obviously not going to, I'm going to stay away from it and wait for a Friday when it goes back down. So it gives me a strategy. But are you planning in the future to invest it, like maybe, I don't know, spread it out to prevent the markets to be so volatile because of your market transactions?
Yeah, I mean, that's totally an option. I mean, we've already, like I said, we just have so much money going through the pipe. Like we only launched this 6 weeks ago and all that stuff. And we went from $0 to, doing $500,000 in transactions every week, once a week and all that stuff. So, I mean, yeah, we've already been working on doing it Monday and Friday. So for half the users, we process their transactions on Monday, and the other half we're doing it Friday, just because it's so much money to have to pull through in one day. It requires a lot of technical work to have literally $500,000 go through the pipes. It's much easier to have $250,000 go through the pipes on 2 days. So that's.
And you're doing it only for Bitcoin. I mean, I know this is super new, but do you have in your goals to add some other cryptocurrencies for diversification purposes?
Yeah, we're interested in doing other cryptocurrencies, but we want to be really careful on what cryptocurrencies. We really only want the best and all that stuff. So yeah, we don't want to. I see Coinbase; they're even adding some cryptocurrencies that I think are not necessary. I don't want to confuse people. In the beginning, I just want to do Bitcoin.
Right.
And then when people know Bitcoin, then we'll expand to other cryptocurrencies. So there's no reason technically why we can't do it tomorrow, but it's really just this is for the average person, the normal person that just wants to get into it. We want to make it easy.
Right, and most people just know Bitcoin anyway. If you say even cryptocurrency, they wouldn't know what it is, but at least Bitcoin, they've heard the name. So Bitcoin has become the category king.
Exactly.
That people, it's like Uber, right? So it was now nobody calls it a ride share. Everyone calls it Uber.
Exactly.
Even if you're taking a Lyft, you're calling an Uber because it was the first as a category king. So that
Exactly.
makes sense. I did want to ask you about, of course, there's no doubt that your announcement of Coinbits made a massive movement in the market. But another thing that recently made a massive impact in the industry was Facebook Libra.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, so Facebook Libra, I think I think it's very good for cryptocurrency, but I think it's maybe bad on the long term. I think Facebook Libra is more of a US dollar competitor, or like literally a government level currency competitor. Because yeah, Facebook and the whole crew that they got together to support their coin, they're literally said in their white paper, in their document, on their website, that they want to compete with the Federal Reserve. They want to compete with the US dollar. They literally have the Facebook Reserve for their cryptocurrency. So they want to compete with the US
Cryptocurrency.
cryptocurrency. So although it's cryptocurrency technology, it's obviously very centralized. So it's very anti the spirit of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, so I think it's a brilliant idea. I mean, with all the data that Facebook has, this is just, I mean, if they can get the permission from all the countries around the world to exist, because so far, majority of the countries have said that they cannot exist in there, like they're not allowed. Whereas, well, Bitcoin is permissionless, which is why we love it. But I think it's a genius idea. I just don't know how far it can go and whether or not it can actually compete with Bitcoin in the long run. Right now, it's been bringing back attention to cryptocurrency industry. More people are talking about crypto because of Libra. Even JP Morgan Coin wasn't able to do that, but Facebook was able to do that. Do you think at any point Facebook could compete with crypto, with real cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin?
I think they're more competitor with the US dollar and the yuan, the Chinese yuan. I feel like that's more, and yeah, I guess Bitcoin is in that game already a little bit. Or cryptocurrency, the goal is to kind of be the one world decentralized currency. But yeah, I mean, I think they're all competitors. The US dollar, the yuan, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Zcash, these are other cryptocurrencies, and Libra and all that stuff. It's all the game on who wants to have the one world currency. Right now, the US dollar is the closest thing we have to that one world currency. But, Rome was the Roman denarii. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Denarii, I don't know. They were the one world currency for a while. So yeah, everybody, what's the song? Everybody wants to rule the world or something like that. I'm butchering the tone of that, but
that's true. And every great empire has come crashing down at one point. I'm from Iran. The Persian Empire at one point was the Persian Empire, and now it's Iran that is in basically the country that everybody's sanctioning. And actually, speaking of that, I wanted to ask you this. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Middle Eastern problems, but my parents were just telling me that the Iranian government is now mining Bitcoin, and they have got 10,000 Bitcoins so far. So what are your thoughts about, a regime, a suppressive regime?
I'm pro-Iran, maybe not.
I'm pro-Iranian people, but the fact that, of course, Bitcoin is so decentralized, then even through the sanctions, now Iranian people can go and mine Bitcoin. And for Iranian people, that would have been good. But the problem is that now the Iranian government is doing it and they're mining it. So this is a little bit more of a philosophical question, but talking about Bitcoin's philosophy and ideology of banking the underbanked, but then having these massive oppressive regimes getting into it. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think I think from a lot of perspectives, the United States or China, looks like a mass oppressive regime. You have mass oppressive regimes all across the world that, either have their own currency or are using the US dollar, or even the yuan, So, I mean, I think, oppressive regimes using money is inherently, welcome to the world. I think every US dollar has been used for more oppressive regimes, giving money to, places in Latin America, places in the Middle East, way more than Bitcoin ever has, and all that. And yeah, if they didn't use Bitcoin, they'd use something else. So, I mean, everybody, every oppressive regime will find some way to transact money. And I guess Bitcoin is the flavor of the month for the oppressive regimes. But for decades, it was the US dollar.
That's brilliant response, by the way. Before I switch gears to talk about your personal life a little bit more, what's next for you?
What's next for me? Yeah, I mean, right now I'm doing a lot of political stuff in DC to fully legalize Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So I'm working on a Bitcoin bill that will be announced this month. I'm doing some other stuff that will be fun, but I can't really talk about. But the bill will be the bill is probably like the least interesting thing I'm doing in July. But I have about 3 or 4 big things in July that are happening, including the bill, and I'd say that's the least exciting one.
That is amazing. You're one of the most sophisticated school drops out that I've ever met. I really, really wish you the best of luck. And thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. I know you're super busy, and I really hope that your mission goes well in the cryptocurrency realm.
Thank you so much. Good luck on all your show and everything that you do.
Thank you so much. I'll see you later.
See you later.